Hello and welcome, dear crypto friends, to this new video. So let's start right away and see what is happening in this crazy but wonderful market. So we have Bitcoin here in the long-term weekly chart, and always I have the Bollinger Bands activated, I have the stochastic RSI activated. Oh no, this is the 3-day chart, this here is the weekly chart. And as I said the last time, basically we will get a correction. The likelihood is very high that we will get a correction back to the middle Bollinger Band. I identified this because we're super overbought in the weekly time frame, and also, like I said, this looks very similar to this structure here. So basically this shooting star candle and the whole formation for me looked very different to this one here. So basically I said, okay, we are overbought, shooting star candle. I think a correction is very likely. And also everyone thinks that we will have the all-time high by the end of the year. And my thinking is always with Bitcoin and crypto, if everyone thinks something, then it is very likely that it will not happen, that the opposite will happen, right? If everyone thinks something, imagine a newbie comes in and says, oh yeah, plan B said we will go certainly over 100K this year. Every newbie knows this. Do you think that if every newbie comes into the market, that it will really happen like this? This would be too easy. You know, this would be too easy. Bitcoin doesn't want you to have easy gains. Bitcoin wants you to suffer. Coins want you to suffer mentally, and they will not make it easy for you to become rich. It's not easy. You will have to be super patient, and that's why basically I think that we will not see an all-time high by the end of this year. So last times basically I made this overlay here. Let me just deactivate all this extra stuff here. So basically what I was saying, okay, it's kind of likely that we will get here. What's happening? Okay, now. So I overlay it here, and basically this is what I see happening, right? I see happening that basically we will have this rally to the full Fibonacci extension, 4.236 Fibonacci extension. That is my view, what's going to happen right now. I think there's still a chance that we will not go higher than this long-term trend channel, because it has been respected since a very long time. If we open the BLX, the Brave New Coin Liquid Index, we can see it has been respected since basically forever. Oh, there's some old stuff in here, some old drawings in here, sorry, I have to delete them. So basically this is the old trend channel that has been respected since basically 2010, right? I mean, there's still a likelihood that it will be respected again. So it could happen that we now wobble around here, and then basically we start the next phase of the climb. And then I said the timing for the peak will be between late March and early June 2022. Why? Because I calculated it using like comparing the length of the previous two cycles, right? I will put a link into the description of a TradingView chart I made. You can find it on TradingView, where I precisely calculate the possible, or let's say the likely date for the next Bitcoin top, and it will be between late March and early June 2022 with a very high likelihood. It's not 100% going to happen. There are no guarantees in crypto and coins. Guarantees do not exist. We have always to think in probabilities, but I think there's a very high likelihood that the top will be in this time frame. So let's just say mid 2022 at the latest. Okay, so basically there's still a chance that we'll do something like this, and we will have like protracted kind of sideways movement, something like this, and then it starts pumping next year. And let's put the top in June 2022, and that in that case, if we will respect this ascending trend channel here, we will peak at 180,000. Okay, $180,000 price range will be the peak. But I'm not sure if this will be the case, because the corona crash basically was an anomaly that made Bitcoin go even lower, Bitcoin even lower than ever before in its entire history in this trend channel, like ever before. So this was an anomaly. So now basically my logic is why I think that we might go higher than the maximum top of this trend channel is because we have also anomalies happening. We have crazy inflation. Inflation is so insanely high. It's just out of control. Basically like, I don't know, 5% or something, like the highest it was in 30 years. So basically I think that because of rampant inflation, we are going to go even higher, and that's why I think the full Fibonacci extension will be the right thing to use, and it will be at around 290,000. So if we do this overlay here with the last rally, we exactly get, or almost exactly get, the fitting peak at around 290,000, a bit higher in this case, but hey, it's just an approximation, right? We can also put this a bit lower, so it will be around 290,000. I think that's my current view, but my current view can always change. You know, my views also change, they adapt depending on what is happening in the market. If we look at the dollar index now, so what is happening is the dollar is pumping, okay? So you might ask, why is the dollar pumping if there's inflation? Well, inflation is everywhere. The dollar index is measured against the strong world currencies like the euro, the yen, and so on and so forth. So basically, if those other currencies also experience strong inflation, then basically the dollar can rise compared to them if they experience even more inflation, you know? So basically now the dollar is also bullish because the Fed is would be called hawkish. So basically they intend to raise the interest rates at some point. And the Powell guy has been confirmed as the chair of the Fed, and he is known to be hawkish. So he is known to have plans to increase the interest rates again, and the bond purchases are being tapered. So basically the dollar is gaining value, and this rise in the dollar here, we have the weekly chart. Basically I was drawing this megaphone structure since a very long time now. I think even my first video on this channel I was already talking about this megaphone structure here, and the dollar was just bouncing around in this megaphone structure here, bouncing around here all the time, and then suddenly it broke out because of these bullish news for the dollar that basically the Fed will taper and reduce the increase the interest rates because Powell has been now confirmed as the chair. So basically what I think will happen, we will now pump or continue pumping. The dollar will continue pumping now here to this level. So this level here, 97.8, I think I mentioned it already in a few videos. It's given by this peak here, right? This peak here, that was a strong reversal, and that's why I think that this line will play an important role. Here will play an important role, and I think it will still climb, and then at some point in probably around January or something will reverse again and go back down, and this will be the point when Bitcoin then starts pumping, resumes the pump, because the dollar and Bitcoin are inversely correlated, which makes sense, and we talked about it also in previous videos, especially in the first video on this channel. Okay, so now we have established what is happening. BTC is just doing a normal correction. We said it's absolutely expected that Bitcoin, let's go back to the Bitstamp chart. It's absolutely expected that Bitcoin will do a correction. We just look at the middle Bollinger Band as support. So basically now the stochastic RSI will cool off. The stochastic RSI is going down, will cool off. And the middle Bollinger Band, which is now at 51,000, will act as support. I think we will not go lower than the middle Bollinger Band, or the weekly candle close will not be lower than the middle Bollinger Band. Of course, the candle can go down lower into the high 40,000s, but I think we will close at the middle Bollinger Band, at the middle Bollinger Band or a bit above the middle Bollinger Band. I also saw quite often this trend channel here being drawn, this trend channel here, and I'm not sure. It could make sense. It could be validated if we now make this here and then start going up again, then the trend channel will be validated. But honestly, I don't use trend channels so often with Bitcoin because in my experience, they are broken all the time. You know, trend channels are broken like crazy all the time. And actually the middle Bollinger Band would be a bit below here. So we would go to the 51,000 area. It could still be with a bit of fantasy inside the trend channel. And then we could resume the climb. That could happen in January then. But I'm not sure, since trend channels, as I said, are broken on a regular basis. We can find trend channels everywhere. We could have, for example, drawn a trend channel here in 2019, right? We could have said, wow, look at the support, like look how strong the support is here. It's holding time and time again, right? Look, it's holding time and time again. It was holding even until here, right? It looks like a nice support channel. And now, bam, okay, it's broken to the downside. Or I still clearly remember it was really a quite fun trend channel that had been drawn here. Or let's say a support line. So here, this support line, you can extend it, and then it was broken. What a surprise, right? Then we had this quite funny support line here back in 2013 to 2015, which was of course also broken. And we had all the time people like making then trend channels based upon this, like, oh, we are now in this trend channel. Look, we're in this trend channel, and according to this here, the next bubble, it will go up and we will go to 25,000 by early 2016. You know, I've seen stuff like that. So if you do trend channels, Bitcoin respects the trend channels for a while, and then it just goes brutally outside of the trend channel. So I haven't seen a Bitcoin trend channel that has been valid for too long a time. And this channel here also, like, you could have drawn this trend channel. Look, it was valid for quite a while. It was a nice trend channel. It was valid for, you could have said, I don't know, from late 2015 to April 2017. So say 1.5 years, okay? 1.5 years Bitcoin was trending in this trend channel, and then you would have said, wow, this will remain this trend channel, but no, it broke brutally outside to the upside, fortunately, that time. This time, the same thing. What will happen? Will we stay in this trend channel? I'm not so sure. Honestly, I'm not so sure. But what could happen is that we stay here, just break shortly below it, and then rebound, and then start the next leg upwards in January. It could happen, but I'm not 100% sure. And it would not 100% fit the $300,000 target by mid-2022. It would be a bit too fast. I think we need to cool off a bit more, and I think we need to go sideways a bit more the way we did here. Okay, the way we did here in September 2020. So that is the state of Bitcoin. And of course, we can now look at the altcoin market given by Total 2 on TradingView. And of course, now that Bitcoin is pulling back, the altcoin market is also pulling back. What a surprise. The altcoins just normally follow Bitcoin. And now that Bitcoin is pulling back, the altcoins also started pulling back a bit. Looking at a few altcoins, we can, for example, look at LTC. Okay, LTC started pumping a bit. But as soon as Bitcoin pulled back, LTC, BTC also went down again. XRP, BTC is super constant. It's basically insanely constant. With a bit of fantasy, we can assume that XRP, BTC will still continue going sideways. And basically then in the end, in the very end, when no one expects it, I think it will brutally pump, because it's just what XRP is doing every time. Other coins, what is Ethereum doing? Let's have a look. ETH, BTC. So ETH, BTC is looking strong. That, I have to say, is doing a kind of really nice bull flag. So ETH, BTC is really in a bull flag, and it might wobble around here for a few more months, and then also it will break to the upside. 100% sure about it. Okay, not 100% sure, you know, there are no guarantees with coins, but you know what I mean. It's quite likely. I think that ETH, BTC will probably go back to the all-time high levels. How high will ETH go? ETH USD? Well, let's have a look. ETH is now at 4,300. If we go by the same logic and use fib extensions, right? We use fib extensions, then we can see it going to 23,600. And this would be logical. Would it be logical? Let's make a small calculation. So the market cap of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin is at $300,000, we have to go to coin market cap now. So Bitcoin is now at around $1 trillion market cap. So if Bitcoin now goes to 300,000, so it goes times 5, we are at about $5.5 trillion market cap. And Ethereum, the highest Ethereum ever was about 50% of Bitcoin's market cap, plus minus, about 50%. So if Ethereum also repeats this same behavior as the last cycle, where it was shortly, for a short while, at 50% Bitcoin market cap, this would mean that Ethereum will now reach a market cap of $2.75 trillion. 2.75 trillion. Ethereum now is at 500 billion. So we say 2,700 divided by 500 is 5.4 times. Okay, so price wise, Ethereum still has a 5.4x potential. So multiplied by the price, 4,338. What a surprise, friends. What a surprise. Look at this here. 23,400. And this is exactly too good to be true. It's exactly the full fib extension, okay? It's the full Fibonacci extension at 4.236. The full 4.236 Fibonacci extension. It's too good to be true. It fits perfectly. So that's why I think Ethereum will go to 24,000. As for XRP, you know my stance on XRP. I think XRP will go pretty high, because XRP in every bull cycle, it managed to surpass Ethereum. In every bull cycle until now, it managed to surpass Ethereum. So basically, and not only once, it surpassed Ethereum, I think, 3 times since Ethereum came onto the market in 2015 and started its growth. It surpassed Ethereum 3 times. So I think it will do it again. And I've basically said my stance a few times, but I think at the least, what the hell is that? Let me here. So at the least, it will go to the regular Fibonacci extension, and the regular Fibonacci extension is at 13.56. But if it repeats the behavior from last cycle, and remember last cycle XRP went to a crazy, I'm sitting a bit too low, sorry. Last cycle XRP went to 50% the market cap of Bitcoin, so it surpassed Ethereum. Therefore, I think it's quite likely that the same thing will happen. And in this case, we are talking about $50 price range, 50 plus minus, okay? 50, 45, 55, something like that. The 4.236 extension depends on like how exactly where you put it. Do you put it on the candle close or the full candle extension? It's between $47 and $57. So that's my personal target for XRP. I know many think I'm crazy. Many don't believe me. Like, you are such an idiot. How can you believe that? You are a shill and so on. Guys, I'm not a shill. I just tell you what I think will happen. And based on what I always thought what would happen in the past, my track record is not so crappy. So I'm like 60% accurate. Of course, 40% I'm brutally wrong. So I might end up being wrong again. You cannot, in trading or investing, you cannot be wrong 100%. You cannot be right 100% of the time. It's absolutely impossible. So if you are right 60% of the time, it's already pretty nice. And given my past experiences, that's what I think will happen. But of course, there is no guarantee. And I certainly don't say this because I'm a shill or whatever. It's just that basically that's what I think is a likely thing based on my past experience. So another coin, I don't know. Let's just for fun. Let's see what Doge is doing. I haven't taken a look at Doge for a long time. Okay, Doge was the ultra insane performer this time. So if you would have looked at the past performance of Doge, you would have said like, okay, this is a dying coin. Look, this is basically in a descending trend channel. That's again a proof that trend channels don't count for anything. Like, look at this trend channel here. Like, we are in this descending trend channel. It's a joke basically. And then suddenly, boom, like a boom out of nowhere, because Elon decided that Doge is a super cool coin and he started shilling Dogecoin. Yeah, so you see, trend channels are completely laughable with crypto. You cannot do anything based on trend channels. So basically now we can look at Doge USD. So now Doge BTC we see is declining. Oh, wait a second. Before I go to Doge USD, let's have a further look at this descending channel here. And what can we see? Well, we see it's forming kind of a falling wedge structure. It's kind of a falling wedge structure, right? Look here. And what do we know? A falling wedge structure is actually a bullish signal. So basically, as sad as I am to say this, but I think Dogecoin will probably pump again in this cycle. I'm not happy to say this, but based on this chart here, I would say that Dogecoin will now bounce around here a bit and then suddenly break out again, probably at some point when Bitcoin reaches the top, plus minus a few weeks, and then we reach the top of Doge BTC where it was before, like 1283 satoshis. I think it will go back to that level. So it will then do probably a double top kind of structure. So that means that price wise, if we say that Doge will pump with a comparison to Bitcoin, and we look at the price of Doge USD, and Doge USD is kind of also like doing like a bit like Ethereum, kind of like yeah, with a bit of fantasy, kind of a bull flag structure here. A bit of fantasy. You need a bit of fantasy for this triangle here, but it is kind of a bull flag structure. So you can say, yeah, it's pretty sure that this funny dog coin here basically is probably still going to pump again, as crazy as it sounds, and it might still make a new all-time high. So I think it will go above $1. I think Dogecoin will go above $1 in this bull cycle, even though it has pumped so much already. But we all know everyone loves dogs, right? Everyone loves cute dogs. Everyone likes Elon. Like when Elon tweets something, everyone thinks it's awesome. So basically, you know, I think there's a very high likelihood that it will pump. Other coins, Cardano. Let's look at Cardano. It's an interesting coin. ADA BTC. That's an interesting chart. I have to say that I don't understand this chart. I'm completely honest with you guys. I'm completely honest. I do not understand this chart. What the hell is happening here? Do we have some kind, we seem to have some kind of resistance line going back for a while that has been respected for a few times. I cannot identify any trend with this coin. I cannot identify any trend. I can just say it was already here during this peak. It was already higher. So there's basically a likelihood that we will return to this peak value at some point. I think there's a very high likelihood that Cardano will pump and will return back to this peak value. Even more so because I see the stochastic RSI starting to rise again. So basically that means the MACD, the MACD. If we switch to the MACD, that's a momentum oscillator. The MACD, yeah, as I thought, is going to turn green very soon. So that means Cardano is ripe for a pump again. I think it will pump again. How high will it go in USD compared to USD? Let's have a look. So basically now we are hovering at 1.8, the 1.8 area. And I think personally that Cardano will pump like most coins when Bitcoin starts pumping again. What will be the complete peak of Cardano? Well, let's take a look at the Fibonacci extensions. So if we say the simple extension, right? If we say that Cardano, we'll do a simple extension, we can expect $5.46. But if we say that Cardano will do a full extension, then if we go to $23. So is $23 a realistic price for this cycle as a top for Cardano? Let's make a plausibility check. You will always find that I like to make plausibility checks using market caps, because it, for example, is completely stupid. I've seen people saying XRP to $500 or $1,000. That is completely stupid. Sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. It would not even work with market caps. The market cap would be multiples higher than the market cap of Bitcoin. And I live by one rule for me is there will be never a coin that flips Bitcoin. I might be wrong about this. I personally think Ethereum might get close, might even flip it for a short while in 5-10 years in some peak cycles. But I think Bitcoin will always flip back and will always remain king. That's my mantra. I might be wrong about it. Who knows? But that's what I think. So back to Cardano. What is $23.18? This is now at 59 billion market cap. Okay, has a market of $59 billion. And we said that Bitcoin will be at 5.5 trillion market cap. So now we said the full Fibonacci extension of Cardano is at around $23. Cardano is now at $1.79. So it would need to rise a factor of 12.8, right? 12.84. Now we multiply it by 60 billion. And we get a market cap of 770 billion. We said Bitcoin will be at 5.5 trillion, so 770 billion. That's like maybe around 15%. So does it make sense? Yes, it does. It does make sense. Okay. So I think Cardano in this cycle, as the market cycle top, will go to $23. It rose already a lot. You think that's crazy, but I think there's still a 10x potential, because that's just how altcoins work. Altcoins are just crazy. So if this happens, there's nothing speaking against it plausibility wise. An altcoin having 15% of Bitcoin's market cap for a short while in the peak, when it reaches the peak, absolutely possible. Happened many times in the previous cycles. Nothing special at all. Litecoin had a higher market cap, IOTA had a higher market cap, XRP, Ethereum had a higher market cap as compared to Bitcoin. So there's nothing speaking against it, in my opinion. This would make Cardano a very nice performing asset, very nicely performing asset. So the price range, if we go from the low of the Corona to $23, this would be, wait a second, 123,000%. 123,000%. That's 12,000. That's a factor of 1,200. That would be a factor of 1,200. So Cardano would be an extremely good performing asset, because if you from the low to the peak have a factor of 1,000, then it's an extremely good performing coin. Very good performing. That's what XRP did the last cycle. This cycle, I said XRP will probably hit 50, around the $50 range. So it will not be as good performing. What the hell am I doing here every time? I'm too stupid for TradingView apparently. So here from 11 cents to 50, we said around $50, right? So it would only be 43,500%. Okay, so that's only a factor of 436. That will be not even half as good as the performance of Cardano. If Cardano reaches the full Fibonacci extension at $23 and XRP the full extension at $50, then XRP would not be even half as good performing as Cardano. In fact, about a third. A third. We said the factor 1,200 compared to 400 something. A third. Keep that in mind. That's crazy. So Cardano is a really good performing asset. Doge also, like Doge is super insane. We said it, like Doge, what the hell is going on with Doge? If we, like Doge already is above, if we go to Doge USD, it is above the, I think it's above the full extension. Wait a second, where can I get a good Doge chart here? Is it on, here on Poloniex? The funny thing is on Poloniex, we have, we can draw the full Fibonacci extension, because we have enough history. And now I draw the full Fib extension, and this crazy bastard is already peaked above the full extension. Okay, so the full extension would be for Cardano 23, just as a comparison, and Cardano is a very good performing asset, and it's now at 1.79. So it's over a factor 10 below the full Fibonacci extension, whereas Dogecoin is already peaked above the full extension. That is crazy. And it's hovering around in this price range, not far away from the full extension. So if Doge pumps again, we will be so much above the full Fibonacci extension that it's not even funny anymore. That it's not even funny anymore, okay? So I think Doge could go like wobbling around, and then suddenly it starts pumping when the peak of Bitcoin is reached, or around the time the Bitcoin peak is reached in June 2022 plus minus. This crazy bastard could go to, I don't know what, like how high can it go? $2, $3, $4? I don't know, something like that. It cannot, again, plausibility check, okay? Bitcoin market cap 5.5 trillion at the peak maximum. So let's say realistically Doge could hit 10% of Bitcoin's market cap, 10%. So that is 550 billion. And Dogecoin is now at 30 billion. So this crazy dog, this stupid dog, could go 10x from here. I'm not joking. I could imagine it going 10x. So basically to the $2 or $3 level range. Okay, it could go to $2 or $3. I don't like to say it. This is not because I like Dogecoin. I hate this. I hate Dogecoin. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I hate this stupid coin. But I will just tell you what I think is realistic to happen. Even though I sometimes will hate coins, I might hate this or that coin, but I will always be honest and say what I think will happen. So now I just freely talked. So today that's a bit of a different kind of video. I think the views will totally suck for this video because I'm too lazy to edit. I'm sorry, I have a lot of other stuff to do, so I don't have the time to edit these coin videos anymore. So basically now I'm just free talking. I'm just sharing what I think, kind of like a podcast or something. And yeah, the views will suck. I think the audience retention will be abysmal. But hey, what can I do? I just don't have time to edit all the stuff. I have 2 other YouTube channels. I'm a bit crazy. I have the space channel and I have a Rome channel. And turns out that I really enjoy doing the Rome channel. Turns out to be my favorite channel. I really put a lot of time into the Rome channel. So I don't have currently the time to edit these videos. So I'm really sorry, guys. I hope you still bear with me and tolerate my shitty pronunciation, because I'm not scripting. I'm just freely talking about what I think will happen. So these are my views on the funny Bitcoin market, crypto market. We talked about all kinds of different coins. We said market top, cycle top around mid 2022 at the latest, probably June 2022. Altcoins, the laggards, the last ones 1 month later, so July 2022 will be when even the last altcoin will have reached the peak. And then it is over. So make the best out of it. Let's ride this roller coaster together. Let's enjoy this ride while it lasts. And do not be despaired by this correction that is happening now. This is nothing. Like, this dump is a joke. It's not even worth. So, you know, I'm so long in this market, a 5% correction, my foot doesn't even itch. Okay? With a 5% correction, it's not, I'm like looking at my smartphone. Like, did something even happen? I'm not even flinching, you know? 10%, yeah, okay, I'm slowly starting to look. 20%, okay, that's a good correction now. 30%, okay, that's a very healthy correction. And above 50%, I will really make big eyes, okay? I will like, wow, above 50%. Below that, everything fine. So we are still on track. We are still super on track for the peak in 2022. The most insane gains are still going to happen for many coins. The most insane gains for many coins have not still happened, and they will still pump like crazy. For example, XRP, for example, LTC, you know, all the legacy coins, they were lagging behind. Dash, IOTA, they were all lagging behind a bit. So the legacy coins will still perform in the last few months of this cycle. ADA, Doge and the others that have already performed quite nicely, they will still pump, as we saw. They still have some pumping potential left in them. So then, friends, that was this weird video for today. Unscripted, unedited, pure stupidity overload from my side. Pure overload of shitty talking English. I'm really sorry. Maybe this will improve in the future. I will try my best. And then, friends, I wish you a nice day, and I wish you all the success in the crypto market, and see you next time.